go. Back. Let's get the mic check in, and there was a bit of a test there right out the gate over to Rumble, and just to see a few things. And as you guys could see, it was a little choppy there, and the reason being, I've come to discover that if I stream to any more than one location from Restream, that becomes an issue. It's just the way that it is, unless I'm sure there's a banner at the top. Listen, there's a banner at the top of Restream. It says, get more power out of Restream. I'm like, hold on. You're choking me off? You're throttling me? That's what's happening. And it became rather obvious right here, right now, because we've ran good for stream after stream after stream, minus maybe a storm that rolls through since we switched to Restream. But the only issue I had is when I streamed to multiple platforms. I started tonight restreaming to Rumble as well, and I'm glad it worked. It was a bit of a test. At least it kicked out. Make sure to follow me on Rumble. I'm going to have some exclusive streams coming up on Rumble. And if I do anything on like an exclusive Saturday stream, we switch things up, hint, hint, here in the future, there will be an exclusive Saturday stream on Rumble. Yeah. So that's what's going to go down. Thank you for all the feedback. Much love, everybody out there. Thank you, Steve. Doug. Thank you for all the memberships, everybody that got them. Welcome to the underground. Everybody's saying sounds good. Um, all right, so that's good. Yeah, so hopefully everything remains good from here. I shut down, like I said, the Rumble. Just and as soon as I did it, everything got better. It was just a very short time. Right after I did that, Spiro said everything was good and was clear, and I knew from the past times that it happened, I was suspecting that this was the issue. When they threw that banner up, I was like, "Oh, it's a money thing." That's what this is. If I was to upgrade on Restream, then I'd highly suspect I could stream to all the platforms with no problems, but they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't even let you stream if you can't get the full capability. I don't know. I just don't like the way that's going, but thank you, Rhonda. All right. If you got anything you want to get to me, Dabu7 at yahoo.com. I appreciate super chats, any PayPals, anyone that buys a coffee. It is the best way to support the channel. And dropping this membership, Steve, man. Everybody, welcome to the underground. We got a lot to cover as always tonight, and going to try to get through it here as smoothly and quickly as possible. Starting off there with the sunset shot, beautiful shot there. If you guys got any images, also let me know. I'd love to start the show out with something if you got them. If you send me any emails, please let me know in the title what's going on and give me a bit of a description. Don't just drop a link. I have no clue what it is. But I pet goat, much love. Barb in Ohio, Ava, Susie Q, all the mods. I appreciate everything. Kev Bar in the house, Academy, Irene. All right, so gonna start off here with this outage. If you guys missed it, there was a massive outage today. This affected all types of different places. I was a bit surprised when I went over and I seen how widespread it was. But then again, it shows you here what AWS is doing. Amazon servers out there, how much they control. Big time businesses have their everything on this. So when it goes down, it takes down everything with it. You know, Venmo went down, Snapchat went down, Ring. So if someone's at work, something's going on at the house, you were trying to peep the Ring cam, it was down. And like people could have been slipping in. Reddit was down, much of the internet affected. When I did my video and put it out, they said that overnight, about 3 in the morning, this initially broke loose. They tracked it back to some kind of fault in Virginia, which they said that they were working on and they were going to fix. But then, just as I was getting ready to put out the video, I was on Down Detector and I was looking. I'm like, man, look at all these places that are spiking. And like you had banks involved, Navy Federal Credit Union, Truist Bank, like all these other places. You had all these cellular places, T-Mobile, AT&T, they were all spiking. Microsoft 365, like all these places were getting hit. All at the same time, it's like, hold on. And then they came out right as I was posting the video and they're like, a second wave is happening. And it's like, you don't have this under control, like you said earlier, which is always like the protocol. They always come out and lie to everybody and say everything's okay, we got everything under control, when they really don't. They just don't want panic to set in. But hey, we're live here tonight. I think last Wednesday there was glitches with YouTube, right? Something's going on. Someone's out there glitching stuff up. Okay? I don't know. We've been highly suspecting a huge event here at any time. Coinbase was down too. Yeah, you got that right. Mustafa Eddie Ross swinging that 9-iron out there tonight, huh? Much love, my brother. Just so if you had any issues, it may have very well been connected to this. We call it an AWS earthquake, shaking up the internet. And again, Down Detector, a good site to bookmark. If you ever have any issues, you can just go over there, Down Detector, and it has a whole screen full of stuff that is spiking. You can see here, this one says, now Amazon package delays. So it's suffering degraded services still. So now there's going to be a delay in packaging connected to all this. Okay. They say here, forget the disruption, the Snapchat, Facebook, Fortnite, and everything else today. You might want to think about the delays that's coming here with the Amazon packaging deliveries. Hey, if you guys are expecting something, I'd throw an extra day or so on it with this little mishap. It just shows you what can happen here with a disruption right there. There's a good shot. This is what Down Detector is going to look like and what it looked like when all this stuff was getting hit. All right, as a matter of fact, let's just go over and take a look at it live. Oh, spike and sling. It looks like AWS is panning out, Amazon panning out, ESPN spiking, as you can see there. US Bank having some issues. YouTube, Fox Sports, a spike. OpenAI, a spike. It looks way better than it did earlier. Chase Bank, kind of, you can see the spikes from earlier where they were all hitting ring cam there. Fox seems to be getting hit pretty hard right now for whatever reason. I just mentioned it. There was a different Fox link. Now Fox One and Fox News Channel all experiencing something going on. So in ESPN, Fox, Sling Television, all that. Again, bookmark it. It's a good site to check in on when things are getting a little crazy out there. As long as you got service, right? I mean, if your service is down, like one of them cellular services, it's I think you're zicky. You may not even be able to get connected. Anyhow, there seems to be something going on. A lot of places getting hit with stuff like this. I just want to put the word out there. We had a potential mass shooting here earlier. It got stopped. It was thwarted at the Atlanta International Airport. They say a convicted felon with an AR-15 threatened to shoot up the entire place. This 49-year-old suspect, identified as Bill Joe Cagle, reportedly called his family on FaceTime and told them he was going to commit a mass shooting at the Atlanta airport. Atlanta police called him, or called Cagle, had a connection here, interaction with him, and took him down. I don't know. At least nothing happened. Get real tired of reporting on this uptick of shootings, and it seems to be manufactured. It doesn't seem to be natural. Here's one that's tragic. I wanted to put an RIP shout out here to this 14-year-old boy, Dewan Morgan, sitting in his room playing a video game. And the neighborhood gangs decided to have a little shootout. And of course, this is what ends up happening. Innocent life getting taken. He's just sitting in the room playing a video game, and stray bullet comes through, poof, takes his life. Over just like that. I can't stress enough the importance of gun safety. For real. Too many innocent lives. I'm all for, obviously the guns all day long, but in having them for your protection and carrying them constitutionally. But we all know, shootouts anywhere are not any good. And stuff like this happens. So, RIP, little buddy. I'm sure there's more out there that are deceased from stuff like that we don't even hear of. So, all the souls out there that get caught up every day that never get mentioned, This one's for you. Much love and RIP. So let's go to space. We've been looking at this stuff when it comes to space here, and I thank you again, Steve, for mailing me to my PO box my this little telescope you got me. As soon as I have this spot out here set up, I'm gonna put it to use for sure. And anyone out there that's got a telescope, you might want to get it set for what's going on. All right, first off, we have the peak of the Orionid meteor shower going through. Is it Hale-Bopp's? It's Halley's Comet. I think Halley's Comet's tail is what it is. And there's quite a show that's going to be going on. A peak tonight and tomorrow night. And without having the moon out there full, you get out there and let your eyes adjust for a couple minutes, man, you're going to see some. I saw one last night. So at the corner of my eye, it's like, Of course, on a night like right now, I could see the entire Milky Way out here where I'm at. Appalachia, the mountains, man. I've been seeing crazy stuff. I just want to tell you all. I've been, with my own eyes, I've been tracking, watching on separate nights, different occasions, always at night though, whether we're just stepping outside real quick, handle something, or I'm looking out the window. I've seen what I'm going to say are drones. And I'm out in the middle of nowhere again. These things are way up there. And the maneuvers that some of these things have been pulling off at such a high altitude, so covering so much of a distance. I mean, it was borderline UFO to me, the one we saw the other night. We both stepped out, me and my wife. She was like, oh my gosh. And we turned around, I looked up, and there it was zipping across like a third of the sky quickly within a second, which is faster than anything else you see in the sky. It was super abnormal. I'm like, this thing's got to be close. Like, to be moving that fast. It stopped and it turned on a dime and went back the other way. And man, it just left me kind of like shook. Like, that happened so fast. Like, dude, I've never seen one like that. But I've been seeing like last night, for instance, I seen this light over the mountain. She's like, man, dude, that thing's just like sitting there. I filmed it. I haven't released it yet, but maybe I should. I forgot about it. This thing was flashing like an X. It was wild. And it was like coming straight at us. And then finally, when it started to get closer and closer, it's like, okay. At first, I couldn't tell that this thing was like moving. And that happens when something's coming like directly at you. It just gets a little brighter, but then it started changing shape and like full on X. You'll see it in the footage. I'm going to have to put it out tomorrow or at some point here. But it was crazy. But it did not make a sound. Okay? That's how high up it was. And it was drone. Like, I can hear every plane that goes by out here during the day, even at night. Like a plane that goes by, a normal plane, it's got a certain speed, it's got a certain pace, they're at a certain height in the sky, and you can always hear it. You all know what a plane sounds like in the sky. These things are different. Okay, these things are different, and they seem to show up sometimes in packs, and some of them take the same. It seems like 2 or 3 of them will go off in one direction, and 2 or 3 will go off in the other direction. I've experienced it out here in the middle of nowhere. It's crazy. So yeah, sky watching is something to do, man. If you catch anything, let me know. I appreciate it. I'm still sitting on stuff people's sent me that I need to release here. More black pyramid shaped objects in the sky people have caught in the daytime. Just imagine how much stuff out there at night that's going by you can't see because of it. But anyhow, this brings me to a group of celestial bodies that have made their way into our inner solar system at the exact same time. And I've covered this. I've shown this many different times. You can go over to live and you can watch all the comments. You can hit play and you can see all the comments go into rotation and you can see where they're all at and everything else. Yeah, snap. I'm going to be getting to that here in a minute. But 2 comets are very close to Earth this week. This isn't like 3i Atlas. We've talked a lot about Atlas, and rightfully so. It's crazy looking, got all these wild features, and we're going to keep talking about it as long as it's still in the vicinity. But it's not alone. We've got others out there. I'll just put it that way. Others out there speculating that some of these other objects may not be comets either. And I've been shown images that other people have of Swan. You have Swan and Lemon, that Lemon or Lemon, however you want to say it, that are in our inner solar system, along with several others. There's 7 total. I did a video on it. It is quite odd that they're all in here clustered at the same time. When you put it in motion, go to one of them sites and you put it in motion, they all converge in around the same time, like right here in 2025, and then make their way out. And like by going into 2026, it's like they're all out of here. And there's a lot. And some are saying a fleet. There's a lot of high level people that have said that this thing is not a comet since day one. Now, I'm going to tell you now, there's no evidence that it's a comet that you've ever known one to be. It just has none of it. When something comes in and it does not have the classic tail or anything like Swan and Lemon, they do have tails, even though their cores are looking suspicious. Atlas is the biggest, baddest, fastest of them all here, and it has no tail. It has like a miniature tail. Like it's like a very tiny. It's not a real tail. It's like and it was facing the wrong way to begin with. But then they come out and said, "Oh no, it's got one facing both ways." But they're both miniature, and it's the oddest thing. Okay, now I will say this as I'm speaking on Atlas here. If you know anything about the seeds of life and how this is all started and what it takes, okay, cyanide, which normally when you hear about it, you're going to think it's a lethal substance that kills people and all this, and it can be, yes. But cyanide is a very, very important organic compound found throughout the cosmos that is essential for creating life. They know this. They've proven it. It's not a mystery. Now, what's crazy is now the Atlas is so close. It is because of the color composition of all the cyanide and the nickel that it's giving off. It is blue. Kachina. This is the closest I've ever seen one come in that matches it, because it's burning the exact perfect blue. When these others come in giving off different, oranges and yellows and whites and reds and all these other colors, and different elements burn different colors. And this thing, 3i Atlas, is unique. But you're going to actually be able to see these 2 comets this week. That's right. You're going to be able to see these things. People are not expecting this, but if you've got a telescope, for sure, you're going to be able to see it. They say that right here. They say after a year devoid of comets visible to the naked eye, 2, Lemon and Swan, will be gracing our skies at the same time. Lemon is going to reach its closest approach to Earth on Tuesday, October 21st, here within the next 24 hours. Wherein it will come within about 56 million miles of Earth. Meanwhile, it's compatriots, so to speak. And funny how they're coupling this together. Isn't that right, Spiro? They're putting these 3 bodies. It's weird. They're coupling these. How all this is coming together. Swan, which is C2025R2, is also known for its brilliant bluish green hue. It will pass even closer at roughly 24 million miles. Both are expected to be at their brightest between right now and tomorrow. You got these meteors popping. You got the comets visible, multiple in the sky. And they say that with Lemon clocking in at 3 times as luminous as Swan. So Lemon's going to stand out to be the brighter. Okay. This is Lemon up here with the larger tail they're depicting. I'm guessing. So this is Swan in this image. This is Lemon. It's got a way longer tail on it. And was just discovered, this year. All these objects just all of a sudden pop out of nowhere, decide they're going to come in with this massive 3-eye atlas in the mix of all this. It's pretty crazy, man. The images of Atlas again, it looks like a yacht. It looks like a freaking boat. It looks like some crazy yacht flying through space at the core. It's absolutely nuts. But this stuff is intriguing. It's like the stage is set here for a show. For sure. They could pull off anything here. For real. They could do anything. And the timing is crazy too. They've been dumping disclosure. Right? Look, within the next month, they're dropping that documentary, the disclosure documentary. It's going to be big. It's going to be the biggest thing you've ever seen in terms of disclosure. Anyone in the world. It's going to be disclosure as you know it. It's going to be like the cherry on top because they've been doing soft disclosure this whole time. The entire time. From the drones all the way to just dropping footage of them shooting a UFO on footage and it blowing in the pieces and the pieces staying with it and flying with it. Insane. Never seen anything like it. You never have. Most of the audience and half the crowd out there, most of the lemmings in America, they're sleeping on it. They just showed us there's something here they can hit with Hellfire missiles and it doesn't stop it. Red alert. Like, we're not alone already. Like, someone's here. And they're not shooting at the guys, the fallen, that gave them and that are giving them this technology. They're not biting the hand that feeds them. They get wiped. They're not doing that. This is somebody else. I'm telling you, it's the good guys. They're shooting at them. They're here in small number. They have to be. By default, they have to be. You ever seen the yin yang? Do you know how this place works? There's a mirror to every atom in existence. There's equal and opposite to everything. You see the level of evil that's here, where there has to be a match of good. By default. This place is so wicked. So, we're locked here for a reason. It'd be crazy to think they don't send people in checking on stuff and everything else. Much love, Crown in the house. Crown Jules, my brother. Hope you're doing well. I just had that song pulled up earlier, starting to get some writing to it, just so you know. I ain't forgot about it. Just getting into the writing mode on it. It's bad, a lot going on, man. Still healing up too, man, from this wreck. I probably will be for some time. I'm just fortunate that it wasn't worse. All right, so that's the space stuff. You've got a show going on out there, okay? And again, Lemon is going to be bright enough to be seen by the naked eye, okay? So get out there. If you got clear skies, man, get you some shots. There's plenty of software and apps, man, you can just download on your phone. I'm telling you right now, and you go outside, you can type this in, and it'll show you like Stellarium. It'll show you where this is in the sky. So good luck. Any good shots again, let me know. Gonna play an alert here. This is a heads up here for potential phishing scams, and I just want everyone to know, don't want you caught up in it.
Local lawmakers are calling on the Board of Public Utilities to take action to protect customers against potential phishing scams. State Senator John Bramnick saying that he received a robocall claiming that he hadn't allowed access to his home and that his services would be shut off if he didn't call back. Senator did call back, and when asked what property he was talking about, Bramnick knew it was a scam and pushed back.
My deep concern here is utility companies should not be calling customers on a robocall, then expecting a call back, and then the customer is supposed to tell the utility company where this property is. This is an insult, in my judgment, to consumers.
It busts them. No, I didn't break any bones, but I think I probably got a couple hairline fractures at least. I got some cracks, let's put it that way. Yeah, the meteor shower Orionid is tonight. Like tonight, tomorrow night, it'd be peak time. Of course, the fallen angels are not going to save you. They're the bad guys. They're locked here. They came down. They had a job to watch over man, and they didn't. They defiled our women and did a bunch of bad things. They didn't do what they were told to do. Okay, and then they had babies. They had Nephilim. It got so bad they had to wipe this place out. Yeah, we know this. Heads up for the phishing scams, though, just in case it happens to you. A U.S. court bars Israeli spyware firm from targeting WhatsApp users. So that's a plus. When they're trying to stop Israel or anyone else from spying on you and getting your information, it's a plus. Could have went the other way. Of course, these things happen every day, and they're tracking and listening to everything anyway. But thank you, Robin. Much love to all you guys. Keep me in prayers. Okay, so test find the high levels of lead in protein powders, or is in protein powders and shakes. And for all the people that eat stuff where you add additives and you drink these drinks where you gotta mix them up and stuff like this, especially the protein powders and these shakes. They said 22 of 23 products that were tested by CR had detectable amounts of lead. Yeah, more than 2/3 had unsafe levels of lead. That's crazy. They said about 70% of the products we tested contained over 120% of the CR's level of concern for lead. That's huge. That's a massive amount. So, just want folks to know, I'm going to think twice about some of these things you're consuming. Jumping into some other news here. I don't know how you pronounce this. Louvre, whatever it is. It's in France. It's a museum in Paris. It's very famous. It holds crown jewels. Well, did anyway. Imagine that, crown jewels. These thieves broke in here Saturday morning, and they made off with an incalculable amount of jewels. They say it's priceless. They can't even put a price on it. They say that it took them just 7 minutes to pull this off. They used an angle grinder and a lift mechanism on a truck to break into the Galleria des Palais. This is a first floor wing of the museum that houses a collection, and people saw them, got them. They're in images. The guys, they were dressed up as like construction workers or something. But this includes what's known as the French crown jewels. 9 items stolen, but they left behind the largest gem of them all, the Emperor's 140 carat diamond. And you can see in the image right here off the security cam, there's a guy in there, and he's in this yellow vest breaking into a thing. That was one of them. They were unaware, visitors were unaware that a robbery was even taking place. That's how slick these guys were, and they hopped on mopeds and took off. They were able to get into 2 display cases. And you can see, wow, I mean, how is this possible? You're busting out this heavy duty, loud ass grinder. I know because I've ran one. And you're cutting into this thing, and like nobody realizes what you're doing. They pull this off within 7 minutes again. And look, this is some of the stuff that they got. Look at that crown. All the jewels on it. And that's old. Look at this, all this stuff right here. They got all this stuff. Sapphires, emeralds, and crown jewels, man. Whole set right there. They got the whole piece right there. It's gonna be a hard thing to sell though, unless you've like already got a buyer or you're like connected to the underground market. Yeah. I don't know. When it comes to stuff like that though, I mean, desperate people do desperate. I mean, they just stole it. They could break it down, as crazy as that sounds. They could break it down into just gems and then melt down all the gold and silver. Sure, it's been done many times in history and stuff like that. It's been melted down. All right, so I want to point out something happening with China real quick because we're connected with China in a large way when it comes to the economy. All this tariff stuff that Trump's doing, it's affecting all of us. The price of everything going through the roof. Well, China and its economic growth has slowed to the weakest pace in a year, and it's grinding to a halt. Like all this is affecting all these economies. So when you see it happening in America, it's not just here. As I pointed out in other streams, Japan, Greece, Germany, France, all these places are falling apart. Like economically, it's like going down the tubes. And it's like we're on the verge of a global reset. We really are. We're that close. Like everybody's in shambles. I got more on China here in a bit. But Paramount laying off 3,000 employees this month. So this is more jobs. Gone. Right there. So every stream got more and more of these job announcements. They're being wiped out. It's very rare. I don't see where people are hiring anywhere. It's getting scary out there, especially with the AI thing. And now, I will say this. The whole tactic of Trump putting tariffs on stuff was to try to get people to be American made. Bring it here. Bring it here and you don't pay a tariff. That is true. That is true. He is forcing pharmaceutical companies to do this, which is a good thing. Okay, so no tariff. We need them here anyway. We don't need to be depending on getting your diabetes medication, all the medication keeping people alive from other countries, from your enemies. Who knows what they're slipping into it anyway? But like, you definitely need this made at home. I will say it's a whole lot safer on the home front than it is in the hands coming from who knows who, So, pharmakia, a big scam anyway. And we know this, big pharma. And we were hoping Trump would come in and tackle some of this, but no. You see what's really going on. He's striking up deals with Pfizer and everyone else. And he even had Bill Gates down Mar-a-Lago for dinner where they were discussing making money off of mRNA. Well, how do you make money off of mRNA? You have to have a mass reason to push jabs. That should concern everyone. Like something's coming. Like, and these dudes have been sat down and had dinner about it and talked about how to make money on it and everything. And let it be known what they were talking about. Again, the only way you're going to make money off the whole thing is if a big event happens. The next one's going to be real. Ain't going to be no beta test. Ain't going to be no nurses dancing in the hospitals. Be real this time. I warned you. spent every day of my life getting ready for it. Because God showed me right back in the beginning of lockdowns what it really will look like. He showed me in the series of horrific visions. And it's all gonna. There's nothing I can do to stop it. It's gonna come, and all you can do is prepare. And either you know about it, you prepare, or you know about it, you don't prepare, or you don't know about it. And I'd rather know about it and prepare, because there's nothing you can do to stop it. Meat Puppet, member for 13 months of the underground. Only places I've seen hiring is trucking companies. Even then, they're not hiring fast. Trucking freight has picked up a little, and that's good. That's good to hear, and thank you for the feedback. Much love. Part of that has to do with the crackdown of them getting all these dudes out of the trucks that are killing people that don't even have a license. I've covered this, and you've seen it. There's been wreck after wreck. These illegals driving the trucks, so they're cracking down big time. In the most recent crackdown, what they just find, these guys have been given licenses, literally, with no names. Some of the IDs says no name given. Are you kidding me? And someone employed a guy with a license like that, like, that's criminal. But because of that, like all these guys getting removed from this, it's opening up jobs and opportunity in an area where, yeah, you should be capitalizing on it the best you can. Get these clowns out of here, man. They're just getting people killed. Don't even know what they're doing. It's reckless. See a lot of people get killed here because of all this. Yeah, and AI will largely replace trucking. That's the sad thing here at some point. What I would say, if you're going to get in the trucking game, but get in a trucking game, but like anything else here, roll with the punches, adapt to where we're going, and be smart. See ahead of the curve. As we just said, AI is going to start to replace it. Maybe you build a truck that runs off AI, since that's what the game's going to be. Start to build a secondary vehicle or a vehicle that is AI based, which is basically just going to be like, once this whole thing's going, they've already laid out how it's going to run. Like the slow lane and all these highways will be dedicated to like these types of vehicles. All the trucks, all the slow moving vehicles, which how it's supposed to be anyway, but always the trucks are always in the fast lane. But the AI trucks will always stick and stay in the slowest lanes in that lane. You'll see highway construction to modify for this, and AI will be just like a train in the slow lane, like of trucks, just a tram of slow moving trucks at one pace, moving freight in the future. That's how they envision this to be, with very little human activity. And they just get off whatever exit they need to go to. They pull on whatever lot they pull in. They can back into the dock, and all this. You don't even need humans for a lot of this stuff, man. It's getting crazy. It's getting scary. The days of going and getting a job at the warehouse are like, depending on what it is, man, it's about to be the days of old, man. This is getting scary, man. It's getting scary. Yeah, self-driving trucks, and the self-driving trucks will be used with AI. Yeah, DoorDash is trying out AI. They're all doing it. In the Northern Kentucky hub, I grew up in Northern Kentucky, and last time I was up there, they got a big airport up there, but the hub, they expanded it. Amazon took over a whole section and a wing, and it's all for the drones, where these drones are going to be taking off and landing in this one section and delivering and doing all this stuff. And like, it's changed and morphed so much, it's insane. But drones are going to be a huge thing from here on out. Me and Spiro were talking about some of his tacos. I was talking to him about it as well, but about just drone applications. I'm a drone pilot, and my drone's down. I need to get another one, and I will, God willing. And we want to put it to work. We've been discussing some unique ways, and I don't know. There's a lot that can be done out there that'll blow some people's minds. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but I want to keep it pushing here. Kentucky Mill warning that these tariffs could be the nail in the coffin for the lumber industry. And this is what you've been hearing the farmers say. The farmers been coming out saying, dude, we're hurt. Trump, help us, save us. We need a bailout. He's like, maybe 2026. Just hang in there. They're like, we can't. All of our farmers are hurting. Everybody's hurting. Jobs getting wiped out. Farmers begging for money. That's not how America's supposed to be. Like, we are set up. This place is like, we're done. It's a setup. They wiped out all the jobs. Farmers are dependent on the government now. All these different industries are folding. And if they're not folding in the same fall swoop as we just said, AI is taking over. So it's taking over jobs. This is leaving people poor in mass. Okay? Leaning on the government, needing government help, right? And it's what it is. You need government help through and through. All these people are asking for it, and it's a trap. We're supposed to be free and independent, man. Not depending on your whole survival, dependent on the government, man. That brings me to this here. The whole SNAP thing. I might as well go ahead and say this here. This is being dependent on the government. SNAP shutdown sparks chaos. Well, we're going to go through it here. I'm going to play you some video clips of what people are already saying. They're already calling for it all over the place. Now, it's easy for someone out there to say, go out there and get a job like, the rest of us and blah, blah, blah. And say that. Well, I can understand that take. But because for people that just sit there and leech off the system, okay? You don't need that neither. You don't need people abusing the system. You don't need it. But you have it. Let's just be honest. But you have a decimated economy in a people that are heavily relying on SNAP at this point, food stamps. You have military soldiers they're not even getting paid here recently with the government shutdown. They're going to food banks. This isn't yesteryear. This is a different animal. Okay? Our people are being put here by design. And you need to put the blame squarely where it belongs, on the government. Flat out. Our soldiers are out there with no food, getting paid, all this other stuff. And now 42 million people are on SNAP. Okay? After whatever you just got, they're saying after this, it's cut off after October. So yeah, you might have got it this month and got it, but after October, it's done. Time's flying. Another week or so, October's over. You're into November. No one's going to have food stamps. This is going to lead to chaos, and they're calling for chaos. Much love, Jay from the Bill. Got out there and got me some of that protest footage this week. Thank you. Stock up. Do it. On something. I don't care if it's something as simple as buying like a bunch of rice or something. Survival's survival. Let's put it that way. Buy something in mass that you can store and that keep, and that get you through a hard time. It's easier to survive when the weather's good. When you hit spring and into the summer, where you can grow things and food's plentiful. But going into the winter, like right now, this is the hardest time. This is the roughest time. If this was to stay up and going, it can cause a lot of problems. So I just want people to know, all the grocery stores depend on this as well. This isn't just affecting people out there that are poor and depending on food stamps. This affects the entire economy, man. All the grocery stores depend on all this money to cycle in. And when it's not there, they're hit. Now do you see? This whole house of cards is about to come down. By design, they're doing it right in front of your face. It's government shutdown. Garbage, man. We got all these people depending on this more than ever. This is setup. Massive setup, man. I ain't liking it one bit. And much love, Jay Reacher. Go in here and get another clip here that was sent over. See if we can find it here. Trying to find. Here it is. Okay. Going to share with you some videos here of the threads. And I do not promote the guy who shared this on Twitter. That's why I didn't tweet it out. But these videos, I want you to hear what's going on. I want you to hear what they're saying, so you can get an idea about what's about ready to happen, what they're calling for, what these people are calling for. Obviously, you've already seen in other states and other areas people just going in and taking things from a store and walking right out the front door. Okay, well, that's about to happen large scale, and there's people all over calling for it.
So we have stockpiled some non-perishables, like with our food. Yeah, what we doing?
See if I can get the volume up higher here on this real quick before I go. Yeah, we get the volume up on these as I go through these.
What about Snap?
Here we go.
I use Snap every month. And y'all always complaining about the mutual aid bills, blah, blah. There's going to be more. I know I'll be raising money for food. Luckily, we kind of saw this coming, so we have stockpiled some non-perishables, like with our food stamps, like rice and a couple canned things, some applesauce to replace eggs if we want to bake something. We got extra flour, we got extra sugar, we got some extra stuff, but maybe would last us a month, maybe two. If we have to start paying for food, like all of our food, yeah, I'm gonna make more videos. So if you guys want to cut down on the people who need help, what are we doing about Snap? What are we doing? Somebody let me know. I don't know. I don't know who to call for that. Then we have to get the government like unshut down or something. But I feel like the government shut down before and Snap didn't stop. Am I wrong? Am I misremembering that? Let me know. Somebody let me know.
This ain't left to a government shutdown going this long.
And if you gotta take those groceries, go ahead and take
Watch.
them. If you gotta walk smooth out the door, just take them.
Listen to her.
I support you. I support that message, and I'm gonna mind my business. That's what I'm gonna do. If I see somebody walking out with a cart full of groceries that I know is unpaid, like, I'm minding my business, because so what? So what? They're taking away food from y'all. And I see a lot of people making videos and in the comments saying, well, that's not the solution. What is the solution then? Because it's either take that or let your kids starve. Like, I don't see what's going on right now is just pure evil. They do not care if y'all eat. So why should we care about the money that's going into those corporations? That's all I'm saying. Like, we want to do something just has to be done. Like, I don't know what the solution is, but I will say, if you gotta take that food, go ahead and take it. Just go ahead and take it. Like, the more people that do it, they'll get the picture, because no mother should have to pay $60 for one can of baby formula. That's ridiculous. Like, it wasn't even that much when my tube was coming up, and it was expensive then. Now it's ridiculous. And I suggest that y'all do the same as far as minding your business. Like, if you see somebody walking out, just turn and look the other way. Like, ain't no time. It's not time to be trying to play Captain Save America, trying to do right.
Nope. I'm gonna stop it right there. Okay, I got a solution. It's not an easy one, but it's a solution. I give props where props are due, and I'm gonna tear her apart where she needs to be torn apart here. Yes, baby formula, all this stuff is super expensive. It is. That's trappy. It shouldn't be like that. There should be discounts on things like that, and just period. But this isn't a righteous system. Okay. Here is how you fix it. Number one, And every single person that's talking here, it hits me. It's the first thing that hits me. It's the first thing that hits me. Like, the girl said, how are we're supposed to pay for our own food? And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's how life works. We all have to pay for our own food. You have gotten used to depending on the government. Yeah. That's a problem. You've got complacent. You've gotten used to it. Used to living off that's the trap. Now do you see the trap? You see where it comes back to bite you? When you depend on the government? When they let you down? You need not be depending on the government. That's the solution. From Jump Street. Period. Not going and robbing the stores of your local community so you can put them in the hole and they'll be bankrupt and broke the very next week, and then you have no grocery store to even go to get anything. You self-implode, you destruct, you destroy everything around you at that rate. You can't do that. Again, this is going to happen this way because by design, if you don't have the influx of SNAP money flowing into these places, all the grocery stores are going to be hurting. They got to pay employees. They've got to keep the lights on, all that stuff themselves. This has huge ramifications. Okay? We're screwed because of where they've got us to, where they've backed us into. We need not be simply depending on the government. That's just that simple. We need to be free of that. But we're hurting. We're hurting. Jobs wiped out. Everything. What is anybody going to? People going, what are we going to do, Tapu? We don't have no job. We don't have nothing. Well, it's time to start doing something instead of sitting there doing nothing with your time every day. I say it all the time. I call for meetups. I don't have all the power, all the money, God knows. But little old me can rally some people and get them together. You can too. Someone can do something. Someone can start doing something out here. Look, having community meetings may sound like weird or whatever, but like you need to have them. Like you need to really get to know your community. This is what this all comes down to in the end, man. Where we're going here isn't good. Like I can sit here and talk about these solutions, but they're not going to happen. I'm a realist. They're not going to happen. Okay? How can it? Is there an influx of jobs in front of us? No, there's not. We're actually getting replaced. So more and more people are going to become homeless, jobless, and hurting. And more people are going to become dependent on the government. A government that just pulled the rug out from a bunch of people in this instance with SNAP. So these people are saying, I mean, you just heard what the woman said. What do I do? Do I go in and not just steal the food and let my kids starve to death, or do I go in and steal the food and like feed my kids? A bunch of people are going to do what she just said. You already seen it. You already know it. And it's going to happen. This is going to cause, she's saying mind your own business, and then she was just getting into the part saying don't play Captain America or Superman, stop anybody at the door. Well, it's going to happen. This isn't yesteryear, like I said, this isn't before. Like every area is different too. Again, if you just steal everything from the store won't exist next week, man. You're going to find this out the hard way. Okay? It's 46. I said 42 million. 46 million on EBT. Okay? That's a ton. This is why I tell you. That's why I got Snap, Shutdown, Sparks, Chaos. This is it. This is where these people are.
Everybody going around saying that motherfuckers ain't getting food stamp next month. Mind you, bitch, I'm on food stamp. Let me tell you this right now. Donald J. Trump, I don't know what the fuck you got going on in that fucking house of yours, but bitch, you better fix it. Just because your ass going through some shit don't mean you gotta take it out on everybody else, bitch. Fix this shit right now. Let me not get my food stamps. Let me not get my food stamps. I'm going back to stealing. I don't care. If you leave your car unlocked in the middle of the night, lock it, bitch. Because if I don't get no food stamps, best believe me and mine's gonna eat regardless.
You see this You see this? You see this? Like, this is what I'm telling you. You should be.
Guys, I'm just finding out there's no EBT next month. My heart. There's no EBT next month. What is this pumpkin man doing, bro? Why the fuck we gotta starve on Thanksgiving? Are you dead ass, pumpkin man? It's like, yo, it's just like you gotta like. Why the fuck there's no EBT next month? Why the fuck November though? It couldn't be January, Feb, March it? Why the fuck does it have to be November? Why November? Yo. How the fuck am I supposed to afford groceries?
All I can do is laugh at this clown.
How the fuck am I supposed to afford groceries if we gotta suffer on Thanksgiving too? We were supposed to eat better today. Now we gotta starve today.
This is just a handful of videos that just shows you what the meltdown's gonna be here. Okay? This isn't gonna be good. This isn't gonna be good. This isn't gonna be good. Okay? And oh, let me shut that off. This isn't gonna be good. Man, I shut you off. Shut up. All right, so I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this, man. The whole stage is set for bad things at this point. Everything we never wanted to see is like unfolding. And as I was saying with the Kentucky thing, the Kentucky mill here, warning tariffs could be the final nail in the coffin. So this is another industry right here. It's going to be affected, hit hard, big time. Because when you go down here and you look, what were they selling? 35% of their sales went to Southeast Asia. Now they're doing less than 5%. They killed it. They killed it. All by design. All by design, man. You're witnessing it. It's farmers by design, now this by design. It's all by design. Wiping it out right in front of your face. And everyone that voted for Trump ain't got the nerve to call it out. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's the problem. That shouldn't be how it is. It's okay to say you voted for Trump, but you got to keep him honest. Okay, so now we know what Trump's in here for. He's here to reset everything. He said he was. And his new pick for the Fed Reserve in March is going to be hell-bent on pushing the Mar-a-Lago Accord, which is the reset of our economy. Everyone's sleeping on it, but it's known. It's in writing. It's a plan for the reset. And that's why I said we've got a bit of a window here before it happens. You've got to like March because they really, how are they going to go implementing it if their main man's not in there? Is how I seen it. He gets in there in March. We'll update when that approaches, and you'll know that it's about game time. There's going to be some kind of financial reset. Now, where gold and silver go from here is to the moon. It's to the moon. It hasn't even been reevaluated yet. When they reevaluate gold and silver on a global scale, I'm going to say probably timed at the crash of a dollar. They'll have to. There's going to have to be something. If the world reserve currency crashes, everyone needs something stable to jump to. Okay, reminds me of years ago when there was no stable coins in crypto. Whenever crypto crashed, Bitcoin or XRP, everything came down, you had to jump into, like, everyone just had to pick a coin and jump into it because there was no stable coin. Nothing stable to jump into. Well, gold and silver is a staple, long been a staple. Only problem is they removed it from our currency system. And we've been playing with monopoly money the whole time. And that whole game is about to be over with. It's going to be during our lifetimes. I would prepare for it. I wouldn't just scoff at it and ignore it. This is something that's going to have repercussions, and it's going to reset the entire system around us. The entire system around us. Okay? To obviously go on the blockchain and onto a digital system. Through and through. But gold and silver always been the go-to, and always will be. But the price is going through the roof. It's continuing to climb. There may be small pullbacks. Hey, that's an entry point. as far as I'm concerned. This stuff is going to continue to tear. As the dollar falls apart, it gets debased, and people get rid of it around the globe because they don't trust it no more. They're going to continue to buy gold and silver. And when they do that, it's going to cause a run on gold and silver. You ever heard of, like, if there's a run on the banks, it's over? Like, when everybody goes tries to get all their money out, and it's like not there. Everyone's going to panic, and like, that's it. It's the end. Well, when everybody tries to go and get their gold and silver out of the bank, and they can't, that is the real panic. And guess what? It's just begun. India controls one of the biggest markets around the globe when it comes to precious metals, because gold, silver, it's used religiously throughout India so much, so heavily. Trinkets, rings, all these different things. But they're saying their largest metal refinery just ran out of silver for the first time in history. Dude, this is unprecedented. Like, right now, silver should have shot to over $100. Okay? They're right to this $50, and we know it's suppressed and always been, and we know that there's a lid right here at this $50-some range. And I told you, when it breaks out of this, it's in discovery mode. Silver goes into discovery mode. Gold's in discovery mode. It's just running. Once it clips 5,000 for sure here, gold's going to go on a strong run. A couple world events mixed in, it's over. These things have been suppressed for too long. Remember, I was telling you to buy silver back when it was like between $13, $16. I don't even know, can't remember what gold was at, but it was all way down. This stuff is just exploded. It's going to continue to. My main goal with gold, the main target, because it's the leader of it all, it was somewhere between 20 and 30. When all this goes down, that's where it would settle globally for a minute and find like a footing, somewhere between 20 and 30,000. And a lot of other people out there have said the same thing. Some a little lower, some a little higher, but that's the range. When one of the world's largest metal refineries runs out of silver, dude, you've never seen nothing like this. We don't even know what the repercussions are going to be of this. You know, Ray Dalio explaining, like, hey, this isn't going away. This isn't going to stop. Like, this is going to continue to drive. And not just gold and silver. It's also going to be other commodities like platinum and other precious metals. So if you want to invest in any of this, there's still time. You didn't really miss the entire ship. This is something that should stay on the rise for a while, but people just don't have a lot of money to invest in it. So, and I know the feeling. So, paper money falling apart, and we're getting robbed. The Federal Reserve has obviously abandoned its 2% target for the rise in the price in everything for the dollar. Like, the dollar's worth less than 1%. Less than 1%. I think less than 0.5% at this point than what it was worth when we took it off the gold standard. And we don't even know if there's any gold in Fort Knox. I say it all the time. It's ridiculous. You should never have to wonder. We do. We're left to wonder. We're left to wonder. So, it's a huge question mark that we shouldn't have to wonder about, man. It really blows my mind that we are still sitting here wondering if there's anything in Fort Knox. Again, as long as they've got the crowd docile, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. kind of how I see it here. Out of sight, out of mind. On to the next one. Supreme Court about to decide whether drug users can possess guns, and this is going to have some ramifications. Either way it goes. And this comes down to simply if somebody is smoking a joint. And, here in my state, that became a problem because in a lot of others. And surprisingly, this stupid governor that we got actually stood up to bat for the people in one instance because he agreed that all these people that are on medical marijuana, smoking for medicinal reasons, that they should not have their rights stripped. They shouldn't. He agreed with that. And he's like, he's going to go to bat to make it to where, people that get their medical license or whatever for weed because they need it medicinally, they don't have to give up their right to protect themselves. It's a pretty ridiculous thing. And that right there blows a hole in this whole thing. But the feds are the feds, and the feds are always just like marijuana. Like California made weed legal, right? But the feds say, oh no, it's still a schedule whatever drug, and they cause problems with it. And as long as they ever want to do that, there's always going to be issues. Now, Trump did talk about making weed like a different schedule here recently, which would be huge for it and change a lot of different things out there. And in my opinion, weed never did deserve to ever be in a boat, but this is all a control thing. Some of these natural things out there are natural and have great properties, and they should have been used. And beyond that, like the hemp factor alone, what hemp can do for the industry and economy in so many different ways alone, outside of the medicinal and getting high properties of it, like it's mind-blowing. You can make clothes, shirts, like so many different things with the hemp. And it's the strongest material that you're going to find out there. God-given natural material. There's so many pluses that come with it. With a God-given natural plant. But again, when you live in a world where it's controlled by demons and all this stuff, it's ridiculous. I'll update when they get a ruling. And I got to mention the UK when I mention this one, because this comes down to a digital ID type of moment. A ton of people today could not access any of their stuff because the biometric database was down. And this just goes to show that if you're relying on biometrics to get into a database or to get into anything, and like the system's down or glitched or anything, like everyone's screwed. Like you can't get in. And if you ever, one time in history, get your biometrics stolen, it's over. You can never replace them. It's not like a password that could be replaced. You cannot replace your fingerprint, your iris, all your facial pinpoints, your blood type, everything about you. You can't replace that. Once it's hacked one time, it's over. It's over. It's the biggest, hands down, the biggest flaw there is to the whole biometric scam and digital ID thing. It's all a trap, but there is no resetting. It's just the only answer to that would be some kind of other garbage method. Again, once they steal your ID, it's over. There's no acceptance of that. Like, there's none of it. Like, once somebody steals your biometrics, you're done. You're literally done forever. Forever. They would have to find a way to, like, reinvent you in the system. Seriously. Seriously. You sit down and you think about it, it's the only way around it. They have to, like, give you a new legal name. Like, the fingerprint thing's out the window then. You can't reuse any of that. You can't use none of the biometric data at that point. You can't change all your face and your bone structure and all that and your blood type. You can't change that. It went hands down in a court of law. It, like, you throw it out like it should never be. But all the governments are tyrannically pushing for it. Okay, so they're going to push this probably in a form of like voting. That'd be a big thing. You're going to have they already did it with like you have to have this whatever the real ID to be able to fly and to do all this other crap or some crap. I don't know. Like it's that on another level. Real ID, next level, digital ID. And you've seen what they're already doing in the UK. You don't have the ID. The government's going to say you can't work. And obviously, if you can't work, you can't eat. You can't survive. It's tyrannical, man. These are the things people need to really be protesting against, standing up against. So, there's a few politicians out there that make a stand. I got to say that, Rand Paul from my state stands up more than others throughout the years. I'll give him that, even though he's not perfect and the lobbyists control all these politicians. But one that stepped out big time here was Massey. Thomas Massey of Kentucky, has went against the grain. And it all really started heavy with the pedo stuff. And like Trump couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand that someone actually stood the ground and said, nope, we're not doing this. If you're gonna act like the pedo thing was a hoax, we're breaking from you. And remember, this is where Charlie Kirk fractured from him and everything. Everybody stood on this pedo stuff. I told you. Like when you've got when you really believe in something, you really believe in something. And when you sit there and see people are protecting pedos, like we ain't having that. We ain't having it. In like, period. No matter the side, the politics, none of it. When it comes down to some of these issues, it's beyond that. Okay? And this is one of those moments where Massey wasn't buckling. And Trump hates it. He absolutely hates it. So he's funding this dude. He's going to back this dude to run against Massey and all of them. All because of that. All because, like, he makes a stand, actually reps the people. And y'all know it. You'll tell them by their fruits. You'll tell them by their fruits, man. So they're going to try to take him out. And, like, he's a guy from these mountains down here that, like, farm boy that, like, has been standing up, again, going against the grain. Like, one of the only people to stand up for him and with him has been Rand Paul. And I watched Ron Paul on, which I ain't seen him in a couple years. He was on a live stream today talking about it. He was pissed off. Like, they're all turning on Trump in this aspect. And, hey, where did it start? Where did the fracture start? When they started protecting pedos. Serves you right, then. Where are we at? Oh, we're well past top of the hour, man. Time just flying on by. Much love. Everybody check in. I want to tell all the new people joining, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, please take a moment and check the notifications. Open it up. You may be surprised what you see. You may see nothing checked, and you may never be getting a notification from me. I go live 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and I'm dropping videos every day, if not multiple. So just make sure you're subscribed up and you're checking in on my channel. For real, I want to thank anyone that shares it. If you got anything you want to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com. I thank anyone that supports the channel as well. Any PayPals, coffees, super chats, all that good stuff. I appreciate it all, guys, and all prayers in love. Go dive in to a harder part of the politics here. It seems Gavin Newsom and AOC are set up to run on the Democratic side of the next election. It's already like they're the top picks, the top percentage. They don't seem to have anyone else they can run or going to run, and it looks like it's going to be them. Definitely one of the two is going to run to be president between AOC and Newsom. So Megyn Kelly says if AOC is going to run, there's no way I'm not. Like, there's no way. Like, she's like, if she's going to try to run, I'm running against her. There's no way. So this puts Megyn Kelly into the fray. And to run as a potential vice in a situation or something, or maybe even as president, who knows? It's we all know that JD Vance has like got that position locked in at this point from that perspective, but he will need a vice. Per where we sit now, but I just want you to know that she's speaking on this and saying that she's going to run. Let's jump into some Epstein updates. The judge who approved the Mar-a-Lago raid once shared an office with Jeffrey Epstein. Small world, huh? Judge just so happened to share an office with the pedo. I mean, you see how deep this ring runs? Deep. It's crazy. It's crazy. Remember Howard Lutnick, the main dude, Mossad basically handler that's always over Trump's shoulder in every meeting and everything. He was Epstein's next door neighbor. You don't think he heard anything through the wall? You don't think them dudes had a tunnel through the wall? Shared a tunnel system in the basement or something? Like, get out of here. You don't think that dude knew something? All these creeps, man. And check this out. We've got this new memoir that's dropped from the late Virginia Giuffre, an R.I.P. She has been the most prolific character in this whole thing and outspoken. And really, I mean, she's dead now. They seemingly got her. Get out, get smacked by a bus, get in this car wreck. She went through everything. And like finally was taken out. And like, oh, she's suicidal, whatever. Like, she puts out this book and she lists where this book drops from the family. And they name drop some of these characters. And one of the top guys was Ehud Barak, the former Israeli prime minister that was beating her and sexually abusing her. Oh, Trump said it was all hoax. Kash Patel said there was nobody. Pissed me off, man. Lady B attitudes, man. Thank you for the coffees. I appreciate you to the fullest. Thank you so much. And again, R.I.P. Virginia. And all the other people that I know that they've picked off, they've murdered. She was just in the public eye. You got to think of all the innocent lives that got raped and were killed that weekend. Years ago at these parties, sacrifices, all this other stuff, man. It's a real deal. Think of all the young kids that never get talked about, the innocents. Adrenochrome. Okay? There's your homework assignment for the night. Adrenochrome. Write it down. Go see how it's harvested. Then you'll see how deep the rabbit hole really goes. What these 6 SOBs are really doing. This isn't nothing about just having little orgies with some young women. They ain't even mentioning the young men yet. Okay? But a scared young boy is where you get the highest level of adrenochrome from. That's the real deal, but you'll never hear it. You'll never hear a word of the deaths, of the killings, of the murders. Just like with P. Diddy, it's all sexual. Not a word about all the people he's suspected of having a hand in killing. From Tupac to Biggie to Kim Porter to Craig Mack to everybody. It just goes on and on. Like, none of that. No. He's got a little measly 4 years. He'll probably get a presidential pardon, by the way. If he hasn't served his time by the time Trump's out, he'll get a pardon. You watch. Steve, much love. Thank you for that, brother. Hope all is well. Thank you for everything, man. Some of you guys, man. Some of you guys, I appreciate it more than you know. The late Virginia Giuffre's family celebrates Prince Andrew falling from royal graces, but they call for the King Charles to strip him of the prince title. They're like, you need to take it one step further and you need to just take the title of prince. And thank you, Martin. So I agree, but hold on. I thought this was a hoax. Lied straight to your face, America. MAGA, cowards, can't even call out Trash Patel and Trump on their pedo protection. It's pathetic. The damn king is showing you. They know that this dude's guilty and the rest of them. You don't just go stripping. You don't do stuff like this at royal high rank for nothing. He's guilty of sin. But no, it's a hoax, right? No one was ever escorted to Epstein, through Epstein, to anyone. No. Then why is Ghislaine Maxwell sitting in jail then, Trash Patel? Huh? How? What charge? You got her in there on those charges specifically, and we've never got the name of anyone. We've got a guilty dude sitting right here in front of me, and we all know it. How can you spit that lie? We spit it, and it stuck. And for the record, that's where they're keeping it. And they're sweeping this whole thing under the rug. But I just want you to know, the rest of the world is openly and admittedly, even the damn king, acknowledging that this dude's guilty. And not only him, also Sarah Ferguson. They stripped her of all of her titles too. You don't go stripping royal titles and doing all this crap, whatever, if it's fake. It don't happen, man. Like, this is real. In America, again, you're lied to straight to your face by the head of the FBI and your Trump. Proof's in the pudding. You just gotta look around. You already know this. And there's just dozens of other witnesses that came on camera here admitting that they were raped and they were trafficked and all this. What about all them? I guess they're fake too, huh? They don't exist too, huh? Pathetic. Meanwhile, they'll let some communist Mom Donnie slip up into New York right in front of all your faces, and they're about to install this dude. You ever thought that New York was bad before? Wait till this dude, look here. He was caught posing with a dude that ran a decomposing child terrorist compound. You can't even make this stuff up. A decomposing child terrorist compound? Like, this is crazy, but yet this is the people that this guy's running with. Everyone just gonna sit back and do nothing, right? I don't know what's going on in New York, man, but anybody in New York, like, afraid to even say it, huh? It's that bad, huh? Like, there's issues everywhere, but man, you've got them bad there. When you've got like communist socialist takeover, like knocking on the door full scale, like, dude, man, you people better rise. Better snap out of your mega trance. You better get with it. Or you're going to get taken over. Visions. Thank you for that super chat. Appreciate the support more than you guys know. So most of the population of the world lives in a nation where Christians are persecuted. So just remember that. A lot of you that are out there in America, UK, some of these Christian countries, Canada, things like that, we're heavily persecuted, and it's not going to stop. And they've been jailing pastors in places like China here recently, and it's not going to stop. It seems like it's the persecution's going to continue, unfortunately. And I told you that, like, here with the chaos in this country, homegrown, paid for by George Soros and company, that, like, Trump said, I think we got RICO on them. Well, like, go get them. You indicted Bolton. You indicted all these other guys. Go get them. Go get them. Like, we still got to see what happens to Comey and Bolton. I'll give them props. If they go down, they serve a jail sentence. But then again, I'm not so sure that these guys are even going to jail. I watched Steve Bannon walk out of prison with a tan. With a fucking tan. Like, get out of here. Like, who you trying to fool, man? Like, this is a clown show. And, like, I ain't believing none of it. I don't believe none of these guys are really going to get prosecuted. Like, none of it. Man, he ain't going nowhere. It's garbage. Guy's been funding chaos, committing treason for years. Ever since my days in Ferguson in the beginning, when I was chasing the stuff, chaos in the streets in the beginning, this man's been doing this to an entire Trump administration the first time when he was saying Hillary for president, and she never went to prison and never will be, especially under him. So I don't buy none of this. That's what I revert back to. Hillary for president when I see this stuff. Ain't nothing gonna happen. I don't even think nothing's gonna stick with Comey now. Cash Hart coming through with them coffees, man. Cash, can't thank you enough, man. As well. Again, it's always the same handful. You guys seem to come through. For one for you guys, man. Whew. I appreciate it more than you know. The hell with Soros. These goons should have been taken down yesterday. And hell with his son. All of them. Hopefully we got everything's connected there. I'm going to keep it pushing. Don Lemon urges the black and brown Americans to arm themselves against ICE. Cindy Lowe, I feel you. So he's going on camera telling all these people to do something. Now, we've seen this before. They did this right before Charlie Kirk, large scale. They keep doing this. They keep calling for the uprise of chaos. So that they're calling on black and brown Americans to arm themselves against ICE. And look, the ICE thing is tyrannical in its own right. We know this. But where this is going is chaos, man. It's all going to chaos. This is the closest and the best shot I've ever seen them have at civil war in a police state. What do we got here? We got young thugs putting out this flaunting warnings, putting out their warnings to DHS, but getting a warning back from DHS that we're coming for you. These young thugs taking to social media thinking they're cool, showing their faces, threatening ICE, acting like they're coming for them for a $50K bounty. And some of them very well may try it, but I'm going to play this clip. I'll have to pause the music here probably because...
Blessed that these hoes on my dick because I'm...
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. This is what they posted. All these young dudes standing there. Why'd you even show your face to go cover it? Like, they got every single one of you. Get the faces off of all you. And what do they say? Cartels declare war. Street gangs smell an opportunity so that they will hunt you down for $50K. So DHS basically turns around and says, like, F around and find out. Like, you threatened to do this? We'll see you cowards soon. This has got to be some of the stupidest stuff you can ever do. This goes right along with that people that talk but don't walk the walk type stuff. Like, real cats out there just do it. Like, they just do it. They don't need to telegraph. They don't need to say a word. They just do whatever needs to be done. You see what I'm saying? Like, this, putting threats on social media or anything like that, it's begging to get a visit. It's begging to get in trouble. We've seen it time and time again, but like, I don't know, man. These youngsters, man, it's in the air right now. All right, this illegal alien, he was offering $10K bounties to kill ICE agents inside of Dallas. He's off the streets. He's arrested. Like, this is murder for hire, no matter how you look at it. Like, to kill, like, I don't know. That's, believe it or not, some people out there probably try to cash in on this. It was just 10 for kidnapping or assaulting, and it was 50,000 for assassination. So this dude went cheap with it. He was just like, nah, 10 for assassinations. They got him. Let's look at the Snow Kings protest. Okay. I got to give a shout out to my guys that went out and got footage. I appreciate it. Jay from the Ville, Hoodie Ross hit Cleveland. Jay from the Ville hit Louisville. And pretty much the same thing. There was a large presence. I'll give it, they had millions that took to the streets, but these were like boomers, older boomer type. This wasn't BLM. So there wasn't going to be violence or anything like that. It's a different animal, man. Like, but you could see they were dressed up in costumes and all this other stuff. And, yeah, they did their thing marching through, but see, play this clip here.
Guys, I think this is maybe
What's doing this right here?
Yeah, no,
What's that?
No, we're good. No,
we're
good. But I don't know.
Oh no, I'm just press asking questions.
Yeah, I think no. He's not asking. But no, it's I think this is I don't know.
Okay, so they had a full panic and just talked over each other. Now this woman did the scripted right-wing troll line, which I guess they must have forgotten to pick up their signs, because that's exactly what they did to me last time. And before that, a different paid protester with the exact same sign followed me around the Take Down Tesla protest.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing left and right. You can see here all the billionaires involved in this. You got Tides Foundation, Soros, Rockefeller, Ford, Buffett, Arabella. I've mentioned them many times. It's not just Soros that's tied into this. I mean, you can see the list right there and all the money dumped into this. I've covered this several times before, but I don't know, man. This is I don't know what to make of this. Like this time, like it's a lot of this. People are laughing at it, to be honest with you. This is the image getting shared a lot. Grand Tifa. I mean, so it's a whole different animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't the groups that you're seeing in Portland and other places that are causing chaos. It's like a whole different age group, a whole different demographic that they were going after here, Soros and company. But that's not to say that chaos can't get kicked up and they could switch gears and they can be like, all right, now we're going to pay the youth. Like, I don't know how many of these people were paid, but it was definitely a planned thing. They were all like out of there by dinner time. It says here 90+% of the crowd is white and filled with retirees. And they were all out of there by dinner time. So here's a look.
Unite to protect us, just in case universities try to teach us, just in case protesters try to show up and remind us of who we are. They go after step 8 and try to break civil society because they're preparing us for step 9. There are 10 steps to protecting our patriots. There are 10 steps to protecting our democracy. There are 10 steps to protecting our right.
So, I mean, I'll say that they were successful in the part of getting these people out there. It was like a pre-Halloween event here with a bunch of this stuff, a ton of costumes being worn all over the place. Different cities seen different turnouts, but again, this was largely what people looked at it as being Grand Tifa. So no kings, having some flop events. Here's another one. This is what they were having kids doing. They were having kids stab and beat on a Trump effigy.
What the hell?
It's, I mean, the music that they have with it. These people, though, man, we've seen this. You're going to continue to see this stuff. Got one more clip here. That's where we're at in this country. You got kids out of parks like beating a Trump pinata, but you couldn't even fill the pinata with candy. That's how garbage y'all are. You didn't even fill it with goodies. Got a kid down there swinging on this Trump pinata. She actually breaks through it and nothing comes out. You guys are pathetic. Look at this lady openly calling like for shots in the neck, like trying to make fun of the people coming down. Like, this is just crazy. The attitude, the mentality of some of these people. See if this is
issue perspective. My name is Greg
Uli. This is going to be this smaller clip. There was a smaller clip that I seen of this lady standing there acting this out. She's like trying to get the attention of the people that took the image, and she's like, you know, she's showing gun sign to the neck. That's Charlie Kirk. You know, that's what they're threatening. It's threats all over. Don Lemon was calling earlier for the black and brown people to rise up. Now look at this. A Democratic state senator calling for Trump's death nonchalantly. They're over there, you know, busting up the pinatas and all that. But here he says, cholesterol, do your job. They're doing it in what they think are funny, comical, nonchalant ways. But in the same time, they're going to find out the hard way here when the feds visit them. That's a threat. And they know it. They know it. So a federal appeals court allows Trump's National Guard to go to Oregon. So now we can get over this. Can they go? Can they not? The appeals court is allowing them. So we'll see if this heats up in Oregon. We'll see how it's going to be utilized here. Now remember, the Oregon sheriff and the governor and all them up there were proclaiming that with their troops, with their National Guard troops, they're going to be used to protect the protesters. Okay? If troops are snatched up from California or any other place and they're sent up there for Trump, they're going to be used to protect ICE, which will directly put National Guard troops from different states on the front lines against each other. Do you now see? Do you now see? It is the governor's call on what to do with your National Guard, period. It's the whole thing with posse comitatus when it comes into play. Title 32 and what Trump can try to he could what is it, the act, this act that he can call on here to try to seize full control of all the troops and have them under his control. So what he would try to essentially say is any troops, if he put that act into motion, that he has control of all the troops, even the ones protecting protesters on the ground, and that they have to turn around and follow orders, what he's saying. It's not going to work that way. It's not going to go down this way. I'm telling you, there's going to be clashes at some point. We'll take a look here in a second of where they're sending troops all across the country. So you can see just exactly what's going down. But these troops, this is what's happening on the front lines. You get these people, some are going to find this comical, others are going to be like, what the? Like, it's abusive by the agent on the person. But, like, they don't care. They don't. This is how it is out there. This is what happens right here.
You're fucking stupid. You're actually fucking
Watch.
stupid. You're gonna body
Here we
check
go. Watch.
megaphone.
Who is talking to you? No. Hey, this is the line that they created.
I can't breathe. Help! Swing! We have some shit. I can't breathe.
Where's the news? The news left my bitches.
I can't get air.
I told y'all, you faggot bitches.
I can't get air. I can't get air. Help, please. I can't get air to my lungs, please.
The fucking news.
I can't breathe. Help, please. I can't breathe.
You bitch.
I can't breathe. Actually, no.
Help her. Help her.
I got her.
I can't breathe, guys.
You faggot bitches.
I've been there. I've been hit with this chemical. I've been right here several times.
Deep breaths. No. Deep breaths. I got you. Hey.
I can't breathe, guys.
I know she's in pain.
Ambulance. You need ambulance.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm Officer Badger, Portland Police. Do you need an ambulance? Do you need an ambulance?
Please.
Okay.
Help her.
Okay, hey.
Stop. Leave her alone.
As emotionless as you are a machine, you fuckwad.
I can't actually breathe. Help, please. It's not panic. I can't breathe. Help.
She's getting super traumatic with that right there, but it just shows you they will hit you with chemicals quick. They don't care.
Jump.
Just a look at like just what's happening at these events, man, how they're unfolding here. And where have they been deployed thus far? Well, let's take a look. We've got, you can see where this says halted, and you can see Portland, Oregon is listed as halted, but I just told you there's an update. They just got the green light. They're going into Portland. Look down here. We already know that they were sent the whole California thing here. You look at here. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Memphis, St. Louis, Baltimore. They're all on there as well, with NYC and Chicago. But St. Louis, Memphis, in Memphis also, they've admitted they're targeting areas in northern Mississippi, right across the water from Memphis as well when it comes to the crime and sending in ICE teams. So they'll cross the state border in a second. They're spreading out more and more. The map's getting bigger and bigger. But check this one out. The Secret Service discovered this odd hunting stand down in Florida near Palm Beach's International Airport, and it has a perfect view, direct line of sight to where Air Force One parks and where Trump exits. So they found this. Now, some are going to say, oh, it's a sniper stand and this and that. Well, unless you find a guy there with a gun, someone could have just been sitting there observing. Truly, they could have been observing. But it doesn't look good. Definitely looks like a sniper situation. And for them to find this, it just goes to show you, if you could find this little sniper stand in a tree out here in the middle of like nowhere on the outskirts of the airport, and you let some dudes slip by and get shots off, hunting stand, looking into it. We'll see what comes of it. FEMA workers apparently were collecting data when Hurricane Helene came through Helena, whatever, was that it? Helena? Helene, however you pronounce it, the one that hit the Carolinas, they were collecting political data, or whatever they're saying here. They're saying Hurricane Milton is what it was. But the same thing was type of happening down there in Asheville. Like, they were getting political with all this stuff. And then the whole thing with FEMA period, not wanting to give any help. We had the Amish really step up and save the day in that situation. So a big thank you to them. I think they're still down there in some of these areas, like in Asheville, helping to rebuild when no one else was going to come to the rescue. It wasn't going to be FEMA or anyone else. FEMA's just been garbage in terms of help. I've seen so many disasters. FEMA's supposed to come in and help, and they drop the ball. They flop it all the time. A shout out to all the local community groups and people that get out there and help. That's what really counts. Those are the people that save the day. Let's jump to Israel. We got quite an admission here from Kushner. He says that Trump believes that Israel is getting a little bit out of control. Interesting. Admitting this, huh? It's getting wild with it. They're also saying that they believe that Witkoff and Kushner have been getting misled by the CIA.
We woke up the next morning to find out that there had been this attack. Wow. And of course, I was called by the president.
You had no idea, obviously.
None whatsoever. I think both Jared and I felt, I just feel we felt a little bit betrayed.
No, I had heard that the president, that he was furious.
I think he felt like the Israelis were getting a little bit out of control in what they were doing, and that it was time to be very strong and stop them from doing things that he felt were not in their long-term interests.
People should understand that Netanyahu, the Israelis, bombed the peacemakers, bombed the negotiating team.
And by the way, Leslie, it had a metastasizing effect because the Qataris were critical to the negotiation, as were the Egyptians and the Turks. And we had lost the confidence of the Qataris.
You don't hear this every day. You don't hear them admitting this crap. You just don't. You just don't. They never do it. They never, ever do this. But they're admitting that they're getting out of control, that they bombed the peacekeeping crew, the Qataris that were there. They were not even caught up in this in no way. They didn't care. They just bombed them. Dude, that is the genocidal mind frame of Benjamin Netanyahu and the Mossad. When you've got the guys that have been towing the line for them the entire time here, saying things like this, that they're getting out of control, they're not getting out of control. They're getting out of control. That's not us saying it. That's freaking them saying it. We've never heard them say this, ever. Not once on record. Say this like this. So, look who they're blaming this on. Look what they're saying here. They're trying to say the CIA is misleading them about key intel. Then maybe you should quit taking your info from a corrupt CIA. You getting burned by them? You getting burned by them? Like, come on now. Like, I don't believe none of this crap. I don't trust none of them. They're all part of the deep state. It does seem like they're trying to put some separation here, though, between the administration and Israel, for what's going down here. Although Trump does say the ceasefire still in place between Israel and Gaza and this whole thing. It was said to have been broken, but they're trying to say, no, it's still in place. So, I'm going to move on to Ukraine. There was a reported shouting match between Zelensky and Trump. This wasn't on camera. We didn't get to see nothing like last time. But they agree that battle lines should be frozen before final peace can be brokered. So they're going to have to freeze the lines of where they're battling pretty much like right now before they get anywhere. There's not going to be no more like them demanding or expecting to get anything that they lost back. Like, you're just going to have to drop everything right where it's at, is what they're saying. And like, not for them to expect to get back to Donbass and the eastern flank and Luhansk and all these other areas. So he was also trying to get tomahawks. He admits he failed. He didn't get it. He didn't get none in this, which is good. But I'm going to tell you, they're trying up. If you can't tell, they're wrapping up Ukraine. I'm going to tell you right now, this is where I see this going. They know they have expended a lot of military resources on Ukraine, so much so that we don't have much, that we're like low. And they've warned about this. Many, even Rubio, all of them here recently said this, and said that we have to up our production of all this. Remember, I reported on this. You're not going to send tomahawks to Ukraine because you need them for where? You need them for right here. Sounds a little bit crazy, but it's not. A few hundred miles down into the Caribbean, we're surrounding Venezuela for all-out war, and it's about to happen at any moment. And I'm going to show you where this is going. So Zelensky gets 25 Patriot missile batteries or whatever. They're garbage. The sonic missiles can destroy them. They already showed it. They're done. Trump and Putin keep talking cryptically, like some huge deal is about to be announced. And I told you this before months ago. Now it's coming back up again. They're saying that this new meeting between the two may be more tangible. And you've even got the head of Russia's sovereign wealth fund pitching a Putin-Trump undersea tunnel that links Russia and the United States. And dude, you're only talking about doing something like that if you're connecting up. I'm telling you, this whole world's a stage. This has all been a fraud the whole time anyway. And the whole way that you make money off of war, because war is a racket, is to have two sides play against each other. Each side selling military equipment to all the allies of each side. And you bank. And that's exactly what both of these two have done since the day they won World War II. That's right. These two monsters, two behemoths, came together and won World War II. No one could stop them. But the racket doesn't work if you're buddies because you're so powerful. So you got to be split. And therefore, when you're split, this whole war racket has worked the entire time. Once it all goes away, though, they can literally have their one world order. It's already set up like that. This is set up. It always has been. It always will be. We're being played and set up. Period. They're all in on this together. Can't you tell? Can't you tell? They all participated in the boogeyman ISIS and playing that on their people. Every country, China, Russia, all of them. Okay? They all participated in the scam of locking you down. Did they not? They sure did. So wake up and don't fall back asleep. The world's a stage and they're playing us all, man. They're all in on it. Okay? It's literally like a movie. Like the best actors are in politics. That's where they all go. Do they not? That's where Trump went. That's where Reagan went. Schwarzenegger. That's where they all go. This is the real acting. They need the real skill to play the people in real time, you see. The hell with some Hollywood movies, they say that we need the real skill for real time. And that's what they're doing. So where are we at? Already clipped the top of the hour here. Because I got a few more I'll touch on here and I'll shut it down. Play this clip.
The First Lady has done such an amazing job on the Ukrainian children who were abducted by Russia. Would you support Senator Lindsey Graham's bill to declare Russia a terrorist state? And you have within your power, you're the most powerful man on earth. Why don't you just enable Ukraine to finish this war tomorrow?
Well, if you knew anything about what you were talking about, you'd be able. You do. I don't think you do. Really, I don't think you do because it's a little more complicated than that. But it sounds easy. We're in the process of trying to make a deal. If we make a deal, that's great. If we don't make a deal, it'll be a lot of people are going to be paying a big price.
A lot of people paying a big price. See where that goes. China. They're wondering if Xi Jinping has lost control. They just purged a bunch of top military brass, and they're saying they don't put it beyond the Communist Chinese Party there to replace Xi Jinping, if that's the case. If it's heading in that direction. Things aren't looking good. They try to always make it look like they're on this upswing, going to take over, when the United States falls and all this, but they're not all that mighty, and they have major issues, major economic issues, and just a lot of issues, man. They created problems when they did the one-child policy. It's affected just the way everything's going for their country. They're in decline now and going backwards and will continue to be. India has now surpassed them, and India is the most populated continent, country on the planet. So they also say that the world has woken up to China's supply chain weaponization. What this is, if you don't understand how China operates, what they've done is they go in with their money, just like the United States. They're printing their currency the same way. And they're powerful in their own right, So they go into places like Africa, like they've done in other countries. Places that's strategic for them. They target it like they've done in Africa. They'll go to a country that has a port that is key to them. And what they'll do is they'll go in and they'll be like, look, we're going to let you borrow. We got a deal for you. We'll let you borrow like $1 billion to get out of debt because we know you're hurting. But you've got to lease us the rights to this port for the next 99 years. If you do that simply, then we're good and you can pay us off in that amount of time. But fine print says if you don't pay back that $1 billion, we get to take the port. This is a trap. And they're doing it all over the place. The United States sees it. Now people are becoming hip to it. Now they're saying that they fell into a trap, and this is pissing some people off. It's going to cost them to jump to the other side, to the American side, rather quickly, because they see that that's the only place that they can go. It's the only place you can run to in this instance. Run to the other side, because China has set a trap on all of them. And in turn, what they've done is they've given them a deal they know they can't pay back. And we're going to let you borrow $1 billion. They'd sat down, they'd done the math. They know that they couldn't pay back the $1 billion within 500 years. So they got them. They got them right at the gate. And these countries were not smart enough to know this. And they did it a lot in Africa. They've taken over a ton of stuff in Africa. It's just what's happening. Now people are waking up to it and they're not happy. And 12 years of data proves that the Belt and Road Initiative is a debt trap. It shows it. That China's Belt and Road Initiative is a debt trap. All the numbers are coming out now. And maybe they were getting away with this stealth-wise before because people weren't hip to it, what was going on. But now everyone's kind of seeing this and they're like, hold up. Well, hold up. Yeah, you better not go jumping onto a ship with BRICS, India, China, and Russia over there because it may not work out too well for you. I think what we're seeing is we need each other globally. That's just how it works. It works best that way. When everyone has free trade, can freely buy and sell That's how it works best. Whenever you try to do all this other crap, it just causes problems for everyone. It seems like that's what they want. They're pushing us toward a reset. I wonder why that is. So, we'll wrap it up here on the war front. We're about to go. Yeah, and people are waking up to the Mossad BS large scale. They're waking up to a lot of it large scale, which is great. It's great. It's a good thing. We need that. If there's anything, we need that. That's why we keep fighting this fight, man. Trump now blast the Colombian president. Colombia now. Get ready, dude. Like, they are, like, as soon as he starts talking like this, as soon as he starts talking bad about you, like your days are numbered. I'm serious. I mean, this guy is like worse than any mafia don you could ever imagine. He is the mafia don. He is the one of nightmares. He is. Trump is. He is that to every world leader right now. If you don't bow down and make him happy, you're done. Okay? Venezuela got their warning. They're surrounded. Colombia could help us in this instance. And they're caught between a rock and a hard spot. And he's basically telling him, listen here, punk, you're going to do what we say. You're going to work with us, or we're going to take you out first. We'll come in and take your weak little frivolous ass out first, and we'll use Colombia as a launching pad to go into Venezuela then. Like, Trump is just, dude, it's crazy how brazen and bold he is. Just starts talking down to dude. You're a lunatic drug dealer, piece of crap, garbage, and just throwing all these accusations at him. The dude's just sitting there. You can see in the image, like, biting his lip, looking off to the side, like he can't say nothing. Like, literally, that's a good image because he's got him. Like, unless all of them want to grow a pair of kahunas and they want to go to all-out war right now, which may happen. When guys get cornered like this, crazy things happen. Like, Maduro knows this. He's about to get, like, decapitation struck in Venezuela. It's about to pop off any moment. When it does, they will not stop. And when he goes down, the country's going to fall into chaos unless they can quickly swoop in and get some elections, get a puppet installed, and, all that good stuff. Venezuela sitting on, like, the biggest stash of oil you could ever dream of getting your hands on. And you should have known when Trump was sitting there looking up at Greenland, like, look, we're going to come up here and make you the 51st state. This guy was mineral hungry, and they want it. They want all this. You can't just go down and steal the people of Venezuela's oil, though. It doesn't work like this. It's way more than that. A lot more will be tied into this, but we'll dive down that rabbit hole once they start bombing them. It's going to happen anytime, and we're going to see blowback here. You're going to wake up, and you're going to see stories of crazy crap happening all over, and it's going to be connected to this. Like, we've never seen this in our lifetimes. They have got them surrounded in Central America right now. From Venezuela all the way up to our border, man. Like, they're ready to rock. You can see here, they just hit a very large submarine. So they're not just hitting boats. They're hitting submarines. They're hitting everything out here in the water. Dude, this is war, and people are snoozing on it. They're snoozing on it. Guided missile destroyers, drones, Poseidons. Dude, we've just sent in everything. Thousands of troops surrounding the place. All right? And guess what he just sends in? He sends in the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers. Pierre, much love. All my military guys out there in 1111. All my guys out there you guys email me when you see this stuff, and you're like, it's funny because you guys don't know each other, but you guys always like send me a message at the same time when this stuff happens, and you're saying like the same thing from your military backgrounds, what the stuff you're seeing. You're like, dude, it's going down. Like when you see this type of action, when these guys are called in, this is the real stuff. This is like, it's going down, man. Like you're about to see fireworks. I don't know if many of you remember what it looked like when the Gulf War popped off. The very first one, back when I was like a young kid, teenager, Desert Storm. Like 91 or something crazy. It's like 11. Like, yeah. That was the launch of a crazy war that I'll never forget. You could watch it on TV, all the tracer rounds, all the rounds lighting up the sky. You just wait. That's about to happen down here. Maduro's not just gonna go out like some punk. He's gonna put up a bit of a fight. How much I don't know, but he's gonna try something. He already knows he's hunted right now. Like he's on the run right now. They're not telling you this, but it's obvious. They've already called for the regime change. They already made it clear what this whole thing's about. He offered them everything. They just told us a couple of days ago, everything, gold, oil, everything. And Trump's like, nope, you're done. Nope, you're done. Ha, are you kidding me? Like, dude, it's going down. When you send in these guys, Night Stalkers and all that, and you already got the CIA's got a covert green light on the ground. Dude, man. And I'm going to finish with this. Sitting here wondering who would take over for Maduro for the U.S. The other day, when Trump got robbed with the Nobel Peace Prize, this woman, Maria Corina Machado, won it. I said, who is this lady? Never heard of her. Oh, she's from Venezuela. How odd. And she immediately dedicated the Nobel Prize to Trump. And in the interview, Trump's like, yeah, who's this Marina Corina Machado? He goes, yeah, I've never heard of her. He lied. You heard of her. Because guess who she checks out to end up be? She is the freaking leader of the Venezuelan opposition party. Who do you think is about to go into power? Who do you think is about to get the red carpet rolled out as soon as Maduro is murdered? The Nobel Peace Prize lady. How convenient. How convenient. Don't know who she is, my ass. This is what's about to happen. And because we stay on top of the game and we got the eyes to see, you can see it clearly. So watch. They think that I'm half of MAGA must just be asleep at the wheel, but this is what it is. This is where it's going. You watch. Maduro, the hourglass has been flipped on you, my man. And like, you're about to get the Gaddafi treatment, unfortunately. What do you do when you're a world leader of a country, a powerful country, and you cannot even wage war with the beast? Isn't it what is written? Who can wage war with the beast? Thus far, I could see not one man. That's why I put all my faith in the Messiah, in the Most High. That's a good question, SCG. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Reminds me of the Mexican president, right? Yeah, they put their clowns into position all over. So, try to wrap these streams up here within any more 2.5 hours max here. So, take it over to the chat. And, yeah, they murdered Jesus. They murdered Jesus, and they murdered all the disciples, and they murdered everyone that believes in him. And I'm just reading some of the comments here, and I appreciate it. Santana, thank you for the emails. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that update, and I get that. That is true. From that perspective. We hit on everything here. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate all you guys for joining again, as always. I thank you guys that share the stream. Thank you, Spiro. All the mods, everybody playing your part. Q City in the house. I hope you guys I know we have these streams all the time. We talk about craziness all the time, but I hope you guys really are right with the Most High in your soul, in your heart. I hope you have a plan for a chaotic time ahead. And I really hope that you're not just, I really hope some of you this wasn't just entertainment, like you're just going to go right onto the beast system. Thank you, Jacob. John. Rick. Wake Up America. Jay from the Ville. Member for 12 months, the underground. Got a year in. Salutes, my brother. And thank you for grabbing me that footage. He got out. He was in the car with his fam. I think he got caught at a light. And he caught all the action, the whole protest going by there in Louisville. I appreciate that, brother. Same Hoodie Ross, same thing. Took a time, drive up Cleveland, got out there in the streets, caught the mob up there. Wasn't much of anything as everyone could see, but I appreciate you putting in work, getting stripes, fellas. That's more than anybody else willing to do. So that's why my guys, man. Much love, salutes. Yeah, we'll miss these times one day. In the future, they're gonna lock down the internet. You're gonna have to have digital ID and all this other stuff just to access all these goods. And it's gonna be after a series of massive, like 9/11 style events that will change the way life flows. Like these were the very last of the good old days, if you will. As soon as the whole banking system, everything switches over, like everything's done. When you're living in a time and you can look back and like, you can't even make a movie of a guy robbing a bank anymore because it's not possible. Times have changed. And we're on the doorstep of that. The whole transformation we always, and it's going to happen on Trump's watch. We always warned you about this. Where can you send me info? Martin Moore. You can send me info at dabu7@yahoo.com. I got a P.O. box too if you're trying to send me, if anyone got anything you want to send me, I got a P.O. box. You can email me or message me for that. Salute Tootie. Thank you, Susie, Joe, everything you guys do. All you guys, Mayhem, Gwendolyn. Really been talking about trying to get a get-together, a conference or something going. It keeps coming back up. It keeps coming back up. And by default, all I need to do is have it in Cincinnati where we've been having them. I should have had one right now this year. 2025 was a year for it. I've been doing it every other year. We had like 3 of them thus far, man. It's crazy. Like, time's flying. But like, if I can get something put together, we're going to aim to get something together. I don't know. But like I said, it's either Cincinnati where I know I can pull it off and I have good security and we've done it before, or I aimed for out west and the spot was Vegas. I know some people don't like Vegas, some this and that, but like, look, I have to pick a spot. It has to be neutral out there where everybody out west can get to. And Vegas is like as central as it gets. And a lot of other people wanted me to have it there, period. And plus, they have the ball. They will have the cheaper ballroom compared to Phoenix. I've already looked into these things. Just because Vegas, you know, the hotels and everything are traditionally cheaper on people because they want you to come there and spend money to gamble. But we're not going there to do that. We're just going to take advantage of any cheaper amenities that we can in this instance and use it as a gathering point for my peoples. It's something or nothing. This year's about over, so might as well start aiming for 2026. Anyhow, man, all you can do is try. I always had the voice telling me, you know, like I'll filled with dreams. He'd always say, if you build it, they will come. And it's all you can do is try. Stay righteous, y'all. Stay fighting the good fight, man. I can't thank you enough. We're not promised tomorrow, man. I don't want to sound crazy about any of this stuff, man. Just anymore, like, it's got to see death around the corner. And I don't like it. I can't explain it. That's it. I don't know. I feel it heavy. So if whatever it is, cry. I mean, none of us live forever. Anyway, you know, it's about the work you put in. Don't ever forget that. It's about the work you put in. I know I don't forget it. That's why I do this. Because I know something higher's watching. And I don't want to disappoint. You know, and I wanted to be able to say, well, just rewind and hit play. You can see what I did in fighting the fight all the time. And make sure it's that way. Hopefully you can say the same. All of us pure bloods, all of us righteous ones, the remnant, truly are, man. Survival is key. It's true, Gio. But I'm going to be honest, the survival of the soul is what is the real key. Think about that. So, I love you guys. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for Underground World News Live. Thank you, Off Grid. Much love to all you. Again, Jay from the Ville. Yeah, Sherry Vegas is dead. But not completely. Wayne Payne. Survival of the soul for sure. Thomas, thank you so much. Thank you for that super chat. All the pure bloods again. Again, Gio, for everything. Salutes Bones. I see you, Pixie. Steve. Again, thank you so much for everything, man. Everything. Come through hard, man. Appreciate it more than you know, man. The Eon, the legendary Eon. can never get out of a stream without having to give a shout out to Eon, because even if nobody else buys a call for your shows, any support, Eon's always there, and it's absolutely legendary. I can't thank you enough, man. The Cash Heart, same way, man. It's so legendary. Everybody else, Lady B, everyone coming through, thank you for the prayers. The power of prayer is real. So real. Don't never forget it. I love you guys. Much love, God bless. Upload the song. I'll throw it on. If we get another album dropped, I'll drop this on that album. I dropped the opening song on the last album, or one of the albums. I gotta get to work. All praise to